All right, hey, so I just want to quickly show you how to flip the left and right mouse buttons on the XM1R, the Endgame XM1r, without using the Windows settings. So you can actually flip it in the firmware of the device, which means that it will work the same on every machine you plug it into, and it won't rely on you changing Windows settings, which are inconsistent between different programs. So some games won't respect them, some games will, and that's not fun. So the actual software itself doesn't have an official way to flip the left and right buttons. I mentioned it in the Discord, but I don't think they're intending on adding it anytime soon, so I found a way around it, found a bit of a hacky way. So you're going to want to make sure you go to the Endgame Gear Discord, grab the beta software, grab the latest firmware, make sure everything's up to date first. If you haven't seen this yet, go and grab it, make sure you're updated. And then once you're all done, get your settings all correct, however you want them, and then you're going to want to open the inspector, which is with ctrl+shift+i, because this is a web app. It means it's running JavaScript and stuff, which means that we can mess with it. And I've actually got the setting here. So you're going to want to go to sources, so click onto the sources tab, do ctrl+p and search for HID service.ts. And now we're in this HID service.ts file, and you want to scroll down to about line 500, as you might be able to see here. So line 499, 500. The reason I chose 499 is because on these two lines here, you can see these comments that say left click is fixed and right click is fixed. So these buttons are being assigned. So button 0 is button 0, button 1 is button 1. What we can do is set a breakpoint here. So clicking on where this red dot is, so there's nothing here right now. Click here, set a breakpoint. It's appeared here as well. This is prepared to pause the code when it gets to this point. So now what we want to do is bring the actual window back up. All you need to do is trigger a config change. So you can do that by changing basically anything. I'm going to click here. So this has tried to set the CPI or the DPI to 800, which you can change with the button on the bottom of the mouse. And you can see the code has kind of changed. It's highlighting this line. So what's actually happened is these two lines have executed, and it has paused after they've executed, which means we can now reassign these values. So what you can do to do that is press escape, bring up your console, and we're going to do effect.u8 button remap. So effect.u8 button remap, which you can see in the code there. We want to set 0 to equal 1. And then we want to set 1 to equal 0. So we've changed and altered this object like live in the program, because the program is currently paused. We can modify this object and then we can tell it to carry on. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to hit resume script execution, this blue arrow up here, and it's going to continue up until the end. It's going to finish writing the config. So I click here, and now I'm using the other button. So my left and right click have been flipped. So if I go and change something else in here, and I don't remember to change that thing in the inspector, it will flip it back. So left is left, right is right. So be aware of that. This will only apply and stick if you remember to do that kind of inspector thing every time. So I rarely ever open this software. I'm going to close it now. But whenever you open it and modify things, you are going to need to do that every time, which is kind of annoying, but at least it's possible. I hope this has helped. Have a good day.